this afternoon in the last several weeks, have we not?
Yes, we have.
Would you agree with me that the Cossacks are a gang?
I can't agree with you on that.
Well, what you know of the Cossacks, are they a group of 3 or more people?
They're a group of 3 or more people.
Do they share a common sign or symbol? They all wear the same vest, right?
Yes, sir.
Do they have a identifiable leadership structure?
It sounds like it.
Based on your testimony, does that group of individuals continually and regularly commit criminal acts?
I can't say if they do regularly. I know they have done some dumb shit, but I don't know if it's regularly.
Well, you've told these folks here today that you're aware of acts of violence the Cossacks have committed against the Bandidos, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm aware of a few.
A few incidents, but also incidents where there were threats made against Bandidos.
I believe so, yes. I don't, and I never come to the facts on it. I never have had the absolute facts on it.
But you'll agree with me that if that was ongoing activity, that would have been continually and regularly committing crimes, correct?
I can't speak for the Cossacks.
Well, I'm not asking you to speak for them. Are they a gang?
I wouldn't necessarily call them a gang.
Are they a club?
They're a club.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I wanted to clarify something. You work in the railroad. You work for your uncle, is that right?
No, sir. My uncle was a roadmaster for our railroad, and he got me on to that railroad.
Okay, so he helped you get on the railroad, but you don't work directly for him.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Just wanted to clarify that. The patch that you made for Roca, you said it was a sword, sombrero, and a bandana. Were those symbols important to you, and why did you choose those symbols?
It was symbols that we put in that patch to kind of represent. We've taken from Bandidos or from other support clubs. It's just common themes that are used in.
And you wanted to maintain that Bandido theme throughout Roca as well?
Similar, yes.
So when those experts testified about that, that's true, right?
Which part?
About having similar themes in their patch?
Similar themes, yes.
Okay. And similar colors, the reverse colors, that's also true?
Yes, sir.
And wearing that support cookie, that has a specific meaning in the Bandidos and the Red and Gold Nation?
It has a specific meaning to that club, yes.
Okay, what is that specific meaning? What's the difference between the cookie and the bars and shield?
The cookie is used in our support clubs. The bar and shield patch, anyone could wear it.
Okay. If a club was not an official support member of the support club of the Bandidos, could they put on that cookie patch?
Yeah, I'm sure. If they want to be a support club, or yeah, they could.
Where would they get that patch?
From their local Bandidos.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. You can't get that patch unless the Bandidos authorize you to wear it. Is that correct?
Not authorized. They would give it to them.
So just a random club of 3 guys and 3 gals came up and said, hey, we want the support cookie, Bandidos, hand it over. That's not going to happen.
Not necessarily like that, but yeah, that's a process that they would, that's part of how they put on a heart patch.
Okay. How many females have a heart patch in Texas?
I don't know how many. There's quite a few.
That's a new thing?
It's, as far as I know, yeah.
Since Twin Peaks?
I don't know no, we've had, I think there's been female red and gold clubs for years.
Now, there's certain folks that aren't able to be Bandidos, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Who's excluded from Bandido membership?
Law enforcement.
Okay. So I could never be a Bandido?
You part of law enforcement?
You tell me.
I'm sure. I don't know if you'd get through the process, but I'm sure.
Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Police officers cannot be Bandidos, right?
No, sir.
And you said that you kind of have a problem with these police officer or quasi-police officer organizations that I think you said kind of ride the fence, right?
Yeah, they want to be an outlaw motorcycle club, but then they also hide behind their shield, their badge.
So why wouldn't you want a police officer in your club?
Honestly, from as much profiling that we've experienced with law enforcement, it's kind of hard to trust them, man. Honestly.
Hard to trust cops?
Hard to trust, yeah, law enforcement.
Who else is excluded from being a member of the Bandidos?
I think that's about it. I think, yeah,
That's all?
I believe so, yeah.
You don't exclude people with criminal histories, correct?
No, we don't. No, we don't. Well, we sure don't have anyone that has any kind of
Sex crimes.
sex crimes or crimes with children.
You do have that standard. You could go to prison for something
That's
as long as it's not for abusing a kid, right?
That's one of our standards, yes.
I know that to be true. And do you have your Bandido bylaws with you today?
No, sir, I don't.
Is that something you usually carry with you?
Yeah, I usually do, but I don't have them today.
Okay.
I could check in my wallet, but I don't think I have them in there.
That's all right.
All right.
And the regulations in the Bandidos, they're consistent throughout the chapters. Is that fair?
Well, different chapters in different areas have different, I guess, regulations. Yeah.
2011, did something major happen with the Bandidos?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
We updated our patch.
Okay. And what was the reason for the update?
I wasn't a Bandido at the time.
Okay.
You hear rumors, but nothing I can say for sure.
You're aware that the Bandidos have chapters worldwide, correct?
Correct.
And at some point, the leadership of the Bandidos in the United States split from the Bandidos leadership in the rest of the world.
I don't know that. I don't know how that happened, but I do know that there's two different patches.
Yeah, the Bandidos in the United States wear the modern fat Mexican with the 1911 automatic pistol. The other Bandidos in the rest of the world still wear the old school fat Mexican with the revolver, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about a little bit more in detail what the process of becoming a Bandido is. You said you were with La Roca for quite a while, and then you got out. The reason you said you got out was because you were getting too involved. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by that?
It was, I made that the priority in my life. And when I say too involved, I was everywhere for every event I could be at, and I couldn't just pull back, and I needed to take a break.
Okay. Where I'm having a little bit of trouble with that is you told us that being a Bandido was kind of stepping up to the major leagues. It shows a larger commitment than being a member of a support club, right?
Yes, sir.
So, did you step back into the Bandidos and give it more time? Was it even more important in your life than La Roca was?
It's Roca. It's just Roca. But when I took a step back and I came back, I was participating as much as I was when I was in Roca. So it was, when I came back to be a Bandido, I was doing just as much as I had been in Roca. So it was kind of about the same.
Well, I'm trying to balance that because you said stepping up to the Bandidos. What does that mean?
Well, you can ask just about any support club, and a goal of theirs is to become a Bandido at some point.
Okay, so that's accurate. That's a support club member. Part of being a member of a support club is to one day hopefully advance to the major leagues.
Well, I think being in a support club, you love our family and our brotherhood. That most of them want to step up to be Bandidos. Not all. I'm sure there's a couple that aren't.
You describe the Bandidos as a secretive organization. There's information of the Bandidos that you don't share with the rest of the world. Is that fair?
Well, I think most of it's coming out here, but yeah, it's always had been a secretive brotherhood.
Part of that secretive nature is that y'all talk in code from time to time.
I think y'all put a little more emphasis on the code, but yeah, some of it is in code.
Well, say bring your tools instead of just coming out and say bring your guns.
Well, if ever I'm in that situation again where I want our brothers to protect themselves, I'll probably just say, bring your guns.
Now, you said that your dad had been a member of the Fort Worth Bandidos for a period of time.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to be out good or out bad?
Well, there's not really a designation anymore. It's just you're out.
Are you familiar with the term out good or out bad?
I am. I've heard it before. The way it is with our club is you're out. It's up to you. If you want to still be friendly, then be friendly. If you don't want to be friendly, then just stay away from us.
Have you used that term before?
Out bad?
Yeah.
I'm sure I have, yeah.
Remember talking to your brother in those 26 days that you were in jail, and he told you that somebody got his patch taken by an SA, sergeant at arms, and you asked him if he was out good or out bad?
Honestly, I can't remember, man.
It's been a while, right?
It's been a while.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. You talked to Chuck, and Chuck told you Robert's out of the club.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember
Who's
that.
Robert?
He was in my brother Chuck's club at the time.
Desgraciados?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you asked him, was he out bad or out good?
Yes.
And Chuck didn't know.
I can't remember. I remember why he was out of the club, but
Well, my point is, at least in 2015, that was still a term that was in use with you and the Bandido.
yeah.
March 3rd, 2012. Important day in your life.
Yes, sir.
Bandidos, that day that they're initiated, or the day they get that patch, become a full patch member, is that considered your birthday?
It is.
Okay. When you talk to a brother or a Bandido, a fellow Bandido, do they congratulate you and they tell you happy birthday on March 3rd?
Definitely.
You said you had to earn it. We kind of skipped over what the prospecting process was. What did you do to earn it?
You are, as a prospect, you're expected to be everywhere. Rain, shine, cold, wet, hot, you're expected to be on your bike and riding. You're expected to travel lots of miles to get to know brothers in other areas, not just your chapter. So it is a process of earning it. You travel, and
For 202 days, you lived that life,
I did.
and you became a brother. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Was it hard?
It was, actually, I don't think it was hard. I enjoyed doing it. I remember being cold and wet and riding. I remember riding one time with my father, and I remember how it was miserable being that cold, and all I can think of is someday I'm going to be riding through this as a Bandido, and it made it a little easier.
And then when you talked about being a member of the Bandidos, the best description you got is we drink beer together and we love our brothers.
Well, I don't drink a whole lot of beer, but I can give you a list of why it's good to be a Bandido. The brotherhood, the camaraderie, but you guys hear that all the time. It's having someone and having a lot of people that you can count on all over the country to be welcome and embraced like you are in their family.
Jake, you started off your testimony with your initial understanding of who the Bandidos were. You said you grew up riding a motorcycle, but as you grew up, you knew the Bandidos to be, I wrote it down, but I'm going to make sure I get it correct. I think you said they were bad guys, tough guys.
Well,
things like that?
yeah, there's an impression that a lot of people that aren't associated with or even around Bandidos, that there's a certain impression you have of them.
Well, do you kind of perpetuate that reputation yourself as a Bandido?
Actually, that reputation has kept us out of a lot of trouble before, you know, and we kind of lived off that reputation for a while.
In fact, I don't know if you do, but a lot of your brothers wear a patch that says bad reputation.
Yes, sir.
What's that mean?
That that was a patch that we had in Dallas, and you look at our chapter and our club, and we're a bunch of guys that like riding our motorcycles, and no matter where we went, could be giving toys to kids, and people still look at us with a bad reputation.
You heard testimony yesterday from Owen Reeves' wife.
Yes, sir.
They do toy runs too.
I didn't know that, but I guess they do.
That's a common thing that outlaw motorcycle gangs do. Is that right? Toy runs?
Well, I don't know about outlaw motorcycle gangs, but there's a lot of clubs, not just.
Yeah. Well, HA does it too, right? Hell's Angels do toy runs.
I believe so.
Vagos
I believe so.
and the Mongols, they all do their own toy runs.
I believe we all participate in them, and not just 1% clubs. All motorcycle clubs, for the most part, do.
All the groups that we've talked about as well, they also have members that have been convicted of felonies.
I'm sure.
Does a toy run excuse violent behavior?
No, sir. What I've learned in this trial is no matter what good we do, law enforcement looks at it as a facade. Any negative act is blanketed all of us.
Would you say what happened on May 17th, 2015 is a pretty strong negative act?
That definitely. Definitely.
How many toy runs does it take to make up for the deaths of 9 individuals?
It's two different events, and no good will ever correct this.
I think that's a fair statement.
I think so. But
No good that you do will ever correct what happened here in Waco, Texas.
well, I know you're blaming us for this event,
Who do
but
you blame?
I don't blame us. I don't blame the cops for it.
Who's responsible?
The club that surrounded us that day is. And that had no business being there.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that.
Okay?
The COC, as we understand it through this last 5 weeks, is an organization that talks about bikers' rights and political statements for bikers. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
So you care about all bikers if you're a member of the COC, right?
Correct.
So why would anybody be excluded from attending a meeting?
They wouldn't be excluded from a meeting. They're more than welcome to come to any COC. But when you show up and you act the way they did, yeah, that wasn't coming to hear legislative talk. That was coming in force for a reason.
Well, you came in force for a reason as well.
We
What's your
always
testimony?
we always roll in force, and we're always, I won't even say in force, we're always in big numbers. And
I think your words were that's one of the strongest deterrents we have as Bandidos.
correct,
Why do you say that?
the strength in numbers.
Okay. That perception that a large group of loud motorcycles, and let's be frank, tough-looking guys, is rolling into your town. That's a deterrent for most people messing with you, correct?
Usually it is, yeah.
Yeah. Until you run into another large group of motorcyclists with vests on that appear to be tough guys.
Well, there's a difference between our club showing up to that event and their club.
Do you think they would say the same thing if they were sitting in your position?
I don't know. I don't know. I do know that they weren't there for a COC meeting. And if our club showed up to that COC meeting with the 100 of other clubs that are a part of that, none of this would have happened.
As long as the Cossacks weren't there.
Well, obviously, yes.
One of the last questions Ms. Gotra asked you was essentially, did you have any idea something like this could happen? And you said no.
Correct.
Jake, we've sat here for 5 weeks and we've talked about violence that occurred all throughout the state of Texas between your group and the Cossacks. Is that right?
We've heard some, yes.
Well, and you're aware of others. We're just not going to talk about them, right?
Well, I'm aware of some of the ones that were brought up in the last 5 weeks.
And some of them, the Bandidos are to blame, and some of them, the Cossacks are to blame.
From what it sounds like.
Well,
Actually, I don't know of any that the Bandidos instigated it. And that's the truth.
You testified on direct examination when there was the question about a green and white cloud in Fort Worth,
Yes,
or
sir.
near the stockyards. You
Yes, sir.
testified that was the winos, is that right?
From what I understood, yes.
And you understood that the winos ran with the Cossacks, correct?
I believe I had heard rumors of them hanging out, but
And
I
are
don't
you-
know directly.
Are you aware of an incident that occurred between the Bandidos and the winos and Cossacks in Fort Worth?
I don't know any details on it.
Are you aware that there was an occurrence?
I'm aware there's an occurrence.
And you're aware that that was a Bandido that was convicted of murder, or, excuse me, directing the activities of a criminal street gang
Your Honor,
in that incident?
I'm going to object to Mr. Jarrett's questions in that form as having just violated the court's instruction.
That's overruled.
You're aware of that, correct?
Say it again.
And then I'm going to object to relevance and relevance. There's no connection between Jake Carrizal and some other conviction in another town.
That's overruled.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Carrizal, you're aware of the incident that took place at a bar in Fort Worth where a group of Bandidos went in. Eventually, a wino was shot and killed who was there with Cossacks.
I never heard the details other than what was on the news, and honestly, I didn't hear the details. I know, yeah,
But that was a Fort Worth Bandido that was convicted.
I believe so, yes.
And just for clarification, I believe the witness had said it was a Cossack, just from earlier.
Let me ask you this. In your chapter meetings or in your church meetings, did you all have discussions about what happened in Fort Worth?
No, we didn't.
Did y'all communicate about what went down in Fort Worth?
No, I don't believe we did.
There was a birthday party run in Tyler for the 49th birthday of the Bandidos. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You said that took place in March. Is that right?
I believe, yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Did you go to that run?
Yes, sir.
Who's the chapter president in Fort Worth? Or excuse me, Tyler?
At that time,
Yes.
I know it is Jack now. I'm not sure who it was back then.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Carrizal, I'll show you what been marked as State's Exhibit 1062. Do you recognize that as a photograph of the Bandidos MC birthday run T-shirt? Yes, sir. States 162.
Any objections, Your Honor?
State's Exhibit 162 is admitted.
Now, Jake, did you design this shirt?
No, sir.
Okay. You were there at the birthday run,
Yes, sir, I was.
showing your permission to publish
Right.
1062. Jake, if you would describe the shirt that we see here.
It says Bandidos MC up top, birthday run 2015, Tyler chapter. Stand proud for 49 years. State of Texas with Fat Mexican standing on whatever you all said it was.
Oh, you tell me what it is. What's he standing on?
I believe they said it was a Cossack shirt or flag or something.
Okay. We see the C, the Bandidos standing on the middle letter, then we see the back end of the C behind the Bandidos boots. Is that right?
That's what it looks like.
So for the 49th anniversary run, the Bandidos and Tyler decided it was important enough for the 49th birthday of the Bandidos to design a T-shirt where the Cossacks were being stepped on by the Bandido. Is that right?
Well, I don't think that shirt would have ever been approved by anyone, but yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's what it is.
It's what it looks like. I'd never seen that shirt before.
Well, Bandidos were standing proud on top of the Cossacks' flag. Fair enough?
That's what it looks like, yes, sir.
2 months later, we have 7 dead Cossacks in Waco, Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we're to believe that's a coincidence.
A coincidence?
A coincidence. You've told your attorney that you had no animosity towards these people, that there was not a problem, that you did not anticipate any violence in Waco.
I didn't say that.
Did you anticipate violence in Waco?
No, we didn't. But we knew that the Cossacks were doing dumb acts, and we knew there was, we had messages saying, a heads up. But no, we didn't go down there looking for them or expecting them at the COC meeting.
You said you didn't expect them at the COC meeting, correct?
Correct.
Way back in February of 2015, you get a message that the Cossacks are out on I-20 heading towards Longhorn Harley. That's what that means, Longhorn Harley, right?
Correct.
And that's a Harley-Davidson shop in Arlington, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Spread the word.
Yes, sir.
So you're at least aware of the Cossack problem in February, correct?
Yes, sir.
March the 14th. A group of 60-plus Cossacks have been seen heading south on 35, most likely going to a green and white event today. Please give a heads up. Still in March, you're aware of the conflict between the Cossacks and the Bandidos, correct?
Yes, sir.
March 15th, 2015. You sent out a message, just a heads up. We received a message that a rival club may try to disrupt the COC today. Could be a rumor. Supposedly an email was sent to the police and then passed on to another club. Just received this info a few minutes ago. So again, in March, you're aware of the conflict between the Cossacks and the Bandidos.
Yes, sir.
Shortly thereafter, Bandido Rogue gets injured badly, correct? Correct?
What was the date on the previous one?
I think it was March the 17th. Excuse me, March the 15th.
Okay.
About a week later, Rogue gets run off the road and assaulted, correct?
Yes, sir.
By the Cossacks.
I believe so.
Look like gang violence to you?
Looks like someone got attacked on the road.
March 25 to Chad Andrus, you send a message to the support clubs. Keep your women from posting what's going on Facebook. What was going on? And what did you not want posted?
Well, we would check in and kind of, I think on Facebook you can make it public where you're at. You check in or events you're going to, you approve them, and we just didn't want, if there was someone looking for us, we didn't want to make ourselves easily accessible.
And that's my point, Jake. Who was looking for you?
From the rumors we've heard with the Cossacks.
This is a problem that you were well aware of back in March. Going into May, you were well aware of the potential problem that existed with the Cossacks up and down I-35 and including Waco, Texas.
Well, I didn't know about Waco, Texas, but yes, I knew they were targeting us.
Get to that. March 26, 2015. You send this out to your club. We should be vigilant and smart, but not scared. This is the life we live. We will prevail. What is the life you live?
We ride our bikes. We like that patch you said, our colors don't run. We know they were targeting us, but we're going to continue being brothers, and we're not going to be smart about it.
Do you agree with the statement that your brother made that we don't start fights, but we will finish them?
Well, we don't start fights, but if you've hurt one of our brothers, we're going to stand beside him.
So let's back up a little bit, Jay. There's been some discussion about the Bandidos' influence over other motorcycle clubs in the state of Texas. And you tell us now that these other clubs don't really need your permission for patches. They don't really need your permission to be clubs. They just do that out of respect. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jake. So in State 69, this is a conversation you had with a guy named Rigid. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
How did he get your number? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't know.
But he says, hey, Jake, it's Rigid. I hope you had a good time on your trip. Didn't know if you had a chance to talk to your president or not yet about us starting the Dallas chapter. If you're like me, boy, he has bad grammar, doesn't he? You're busy as all get out always. If not, that's fine with me. And the guys are excited about getting started with our mission with the kids, but we just want to make sure we have y'all's blessing before we just start telling people we have a Dallas chapter, and we want to make sure you guys want to have a sit down or not before we just start putting out there that we are officially a Dallas chapter. Thanks a lot. Iron Guardian Rigid.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's he asking you there?
I believe they had another chapter, and just out of respect, they're wanting they were wanting to expand with a different chapter, and they came to us or sent me that text just out of respect.
And Jake, you didn't respond. I don't know why you're texting me. You can have any patch you want anywhere you want in this city. You didn't say that, did you?
No, I didn't.
No, you said we're having a birthday party for a brother this Saturday. Would like for you guys to come out and meet y'all. And you invited him to a birthday party, right?
Yes, sir.
And he says thank you.
Correct.
And then 70, you say cool. And Rigid's text back to you, hey, sorry we missed you today. I just want to say thank you for everything you did. We really appreciate it. We talked to your president and had a really good meeting. He seems like a great guy. He gave us approval for Dallas. What would that mean, he gave us approval for Dallas? I thought y'all didn't approve anybody for anything.
We don't, but there's clubs that come to us out of respect for being an established club for so long.
So did Iron Guardian Rigid just misunderstand?
I don't know what he did, but he came to us and we weren't going to tell him yes or no. It was just a respectful gesture on his part.
He says, I'm ecstatic. This means a lot to us, and I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you very much. If you have any events and or charities coming up, just let me know and we'll be there. You said, great.
Yes, sir.
You didn't say, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't approve anything.
Well, that's a pretty stand-up club that helps a lot of kids, and it wasn't us approving it or disapproving it. It was just
I guess it's Iron Guardian. What type of club is the Iron Guardian?
They're a motorcycle club, an MC, three-piece patch club. That's what their whole existence is to help kids, kind of like Baca.
Okay, so they're not even they're not a one percenter or a support club at all, correct?
No, sir. They're just a friendly club.
And even those guys wanted to check in with you.
It wasn't checking in with us. It's, there's a longevity with our club. And there's a lot of clubs that start up and last 2-3 years, and then once the new wears off, they die out. And our club's been around for 50 plus years, the whole 50 plus years, and that's respected in our culture.
Consistently.
Correct. We didn't bless them with it. It was just a respectful gesture.
You see how somebody could read it that way, that it's a blessing, since he said it's a blessing?
I see how y'all read it that way, but that's not the case.
Well, do you see how anyone who reads English could read it that way?
I see how you're taking it.
Okay. I'm not taking a giant leap when I say you approved it when he says thanks for your approval.
Right.
Now, who's Bandido Lala?
He was a Bandido in our chapter prior to Twin Peaks.
Prior to Twin Peaks. Is
Yes,
he a
sir.
member of a different club?
I believe so.
What club is that?
I believe he's a kinfolk.
Kinfolk.
Yeah.
Jake, on February the 8th, 2015, you received a message from Bandido Lalo. Tell the bros, brother, they saw us at the front and they jumped back on their bikes and left. Cossack, Roll By, Strokers. And Strokers is a biker bar in the Dallas area, is that right?
Correct.
Stopped at the parking lot. There was 2 in colors, about 3 without colors, riding on a cage. Now, is that code or just really bad grammar?
I think that's really bad grammar.
Okay. Does it sound like he's telling you they saw a group of Cossacks at Strokers at the bar in the parking lot? They saw us. 2 of them had their cuts on. 3 of them did not have cuts. Were riding in a car.
I believe so.
Okay. And you responded, LOL, laughing out loud, right?
Yes, sir. May have been laughing at his grammar.
That could be true. We won't discount that. I think you mentioned it with your attorney, but do you remember a conversation with some members of your club about the Devil's League? Devil's League?
I remember, yeah.
Yeah. Remember those discussions?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Who's the Devil's League?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Okay, but there was some discussions between you and your brothers, your club, about this Devil's League that somebody saw flying colors.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's what States Exhibit 76 through 81 talks about. Is that right?
Correct.
Mr. Carrizal, who is Jumbo?
He's one of our support club members,
What club was he in at the time?
Vaqueros.
What club is he in now?
I think he's still a Vaquero.
Vaquero. Okay, he's still around.
I haven't seen him in a while, but I think so.
All right. Starts out with him sending you a text that says Devil's League. Didn't give you much information, so you sent back the triple question marks, right?
Yes, sir.
He says, seen one, looked odd, never heard of them. Your response is, what's your response there?
Who are they? From where?
Well, you said, who the fuck are they, from where?
There
Right?
you go. Yes, sir.
So you don't know anything about this Devil's League at all?
No, sir.
State 77, February 14th, 2015. Jumbo fires back. I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Cut said Devil's League Nomad. Had an MC cube on the right of Red Devil head. 1% cube on the left side and a circle 13 on front. What did you think about when you received that?
I didn't know who they were.
Something strange, you never heard of this group before?
Correct.
Okay. And you respond, and you didn't talk to them? Where at? Are they still there? Why did you expect Jumbo to go talk to these guys?
Well, with an MC cube or a 1% cube, we have different clubs. Texas is big, Dallas is big, and different clubs pop up all the time. And if one of them's a 1% club, and if they do some dumb stuff around town, it's going to shine a bad light on us. So we want to know who they are.
Especially 1% clubs, right?
Well, all clubs, but yeah, 1%.
The Bandidos, you've heard testimony the last 5 weeks, and the Bandidos are the dominant 1% club in Texas. Is that accurate?
We're the 1% club that's here in Texas, yes, sir.
The biggest.
Right.
Been here the longest.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Gotro asked you about the Banshees. And the Banshees are a Dallas club, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And do they wear the 1%?
No, sir.
Okay. Did they wear it at one point?
I don't know if they did or not.
Way back in history, there was a conflict between the Banshees and the Bandidos. Is that
I'm
right?
going to object to the state testifying. He just said he didn't know.
Cross-examination.
I'll allow you to ask the question.
Aware of the conflict between the Bandidos and the Banshees way back in the 80s?
I understand there was a conflict, yes.
Okay. And that revolved around putting on a bottom rocker, didn't it?
I'm going to object to the state testifying. He just said he didn't. I'm going to object to the state testifying. His facts aren't in evidence,
Judge, I'm trying to cross-examine the witness of what his knowledge is with his own club.
and I only ask that he stick to relevant matters to these charges.
Okay. I'm I'm going to overrule the objection, allow the question.
There was conflict between the Bandidos and the Banshees in Dallas, Texas, back in the 80s, correct?
I don't know the details. I do know that I'm pretty friendly with the president of the Banshees currently.
Things have changed in the last 30 years.
Yes, sir.
But back in the 80s, there were some problems where some people got punished for.
I imagine so.
You're aware of that?
I'm aware of stories, but nothing exactly in details.
We won't go any further, but you've heard of the Dallas 21, right?
Yes, sir.
So then you get a message from 3D that you forward to Jumbo. Is that accurate? And it says, we need all these guys to start handling shit as it comes up. If they see something like this, at least make a call or take a picture. Instead, they don't do shit.
Yes, sir.
Again, what did you expect these guys to do?
Well, I would expect them to talk to whoever they see instead of just running to us and passing on information. Go up, introduce themselves, and talk to them, see who they are.
In response to 3D or Dave Martinez, you responded, no fucking shit. I just got in his ass for not at least calling if he was scared.
Correct.
Dave Martinez said we need to get all these guys to start handling their shit as it comes up. Same message we just talked about, right?
I think it's the same message.
Okay, and you said exactly. I think I see what happened is you forwarded that message from Martinez to Jumbo, right?
I don't know, man.
See how this one's a forward
Okay,
from
yeah.
3D?
Yeah.
Okay, so you copied it and forwarded it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then there's some more discussion. Anyone else see this guy? Turns out, States 80, somebody took a picture of this and said, that guy I saw had a white and black version. Apparently he's an eBay wannabe, right?
I guess that picture was on, or that patch was sold on eBay. So
Okay, so somebody went and bought, in States Exhibit 81, you asked Jumbo, where'd you find that pic? He says, Jeff found it, was telling my guys about it. Jeff started looking and found that with several others. So apparently somebody went and bought a motorcycle cut and started wearing it around town.
yes, sir.
And Jumbo says he'll come out again, and you said, hope so. What
Yeah.
do you mean by that?
Well, I would, if they're running around wearing a 1%er, I'd like to find out who they are.
I'd like to have a little conversation with him, I bet.
Well, not the way you're insinuating it, but
You tell me.
I would, yeah, if someone's running around wearing a 1%er, I would like to know who they are.
Just like you kind of did, you straightened out the guy that was wearing the Hells Angels, or put that information on his Facebook, right?
You say straightened them out.
Well, if I can find that real quick, hang on.
Okay.
States Exhibit 110, this guy, David Golden. How did you find David Golden?
I saw him on Facebook.
You just saw this pop up with that 1%er?
Well, it showed, I think, like a friend you know or something like that. People you may know.
Did you do some research and see that 1%er red and white patch was from Texas?
Yeah, when I clicked on his profile, it showed him in McKinney, Texas.
That's pretty close to Dallas.
Yes, sir.
And you have no reason to believe that there's an HA or Hells Angel chapter in Dallas?
I don't believe so.
And that's why you contacted this guy, right?
Yeah, I wanted to see if he's the real deal or a poser.
Okay. And this guy clearly was a poser to you?
Well, that's what the Hells Angels said.
Okay. You told him HA would appreciate you I think you meant not appreciate you impersonating an HA, right?
Correct.
Especially in Texas. What do you mean especially in Texas?
Well, they don't have any chapters in Texas. And if he's out pretending to be a Hells Angel and if he's doing dumb stuff, it may shine a bad light on them.
You said, remove that shit. This is Texas. See you soon.
Yes, sir.
What'd that see you soon mean?
Do you have the rest of his messages where
Okay.
he was, okay.
Go ahead.
He was saying how he wanted to come meet me or something like that, and I just kind of blew him off.
Okay. Is that the one where he says in States 111, do some research, and he shows you a picture of a tattoo?
Well, I think you missed some of the messages on there, but
And he backs down and says, okay, I'm not in the club anymore. I don't need any trouble, right?
correct.
I'll take the 1%er off my profile. Please accept my apology.
Well, you only gave certain parts of the conversation.
And Jake, I'm only telling you, I gave you the ones that I could find on the phone.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, that part of the conversation is correct.
May I approach you?
Yes, you may.
There's some additional messages. When Roe got beat up here in the Waco area, that was something that y'all talked about.
I believe he sent it up.
This is your dad's phone number, States Exhibit 87, is that right?
Uh-huh.
States Exhibit 87, March 23rd, 2015. Your dad sent you a text that said, I saw a pic of Roe in the hospital. He's fucked up, looks real bad. We know Roe is Rolando Campos, right?
Correct.
And you said, where did you see it? Dad says from Zach. Zach's your brother, is that right?
Zach is my brother.
Your dad said, I wonder how Marsh feels about holding hands with that punk this weekend. Who's your dad referring to when he says Marsh?
I'm not 100% sure.
Do you know any Marshes or Bandido Marsh?
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't.
Is there a prominent Bandido Marshal?
There's a Bandido Marshal.
Okay. What's his full name?
Bandido Marshal
Marshall Mitchell?
Mitchell.
Okay. There's some other text messages that are in evidence about a cocksack prospect that another Bandido member from Longview brought around. Is that who your dad's probably referring to?
I believe so, but he wasn't a prospect at this time.
Okay, and who was that? That punk that your dad's referring to?
I can't remember his name right now.
McAllister?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I don't believe, are the text messages, may I inquire if the text messages the state's referencing were on Mr. Carrizal's phone, on Jake's phone? And are they, I don't recall those being in evidence.
They are in evidence. This is, I'll find those, Judge, and I'll clear it up.
Okay.
Do you remember the text messages about a guy coming and somebody said, yeah, he should stay with Jake?
Yes.
Okay, that's the guy we're talking about, right?
Yes.
And that's a McAllister?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did he ever become a Bandido?
I haven't seen him since, but I think so.
Okay. Some of the Dallas chapter wasn't very fond of that guy?
No. Well, with everything going on, no.
Because
well, we didn't actually know him.
But he was a former Cossack, and
Correct.
folks didn't like that.
Yeah, we're leery.
States 88, you received a message from Bandido Gator. And is he still a member of your chapter?
No, he's not.
Is he still a member of the Bandidos?
No, he's not.
Is he in a different club, or is he just out of the scene?
I think he's just out of the scene.
Okay. He sent you a message that said, got this from Bandido, FO. FO is Roe's father, is that right?
Correct.
He leaves a phone number, a 210 number for Bandido Roe. Here's his number if you want to call him. All calls welcome. Now, he signs it Nomad FO 1%er. What is a Nomad
In our club,
in your club?
they belong to the Nomad chapter. They don't have a specific chapter where they live, so they're nomadic. They travel all over.
And what does FTP mean? Go ahead.
Fuck the police.
Okay. Expect no mercy.
Correct.